Hello and welcome to the Betfred Championship and Betfred League One Award Show 2021. What a season it has been, but it's not over just yet, but we will be looking back at some of the key moments and highlights throughout that entire season. And helping me do that, we've got two absolute legends. That's what I'm calling you guys today. We've got Rob Worrincy and we've got Scott Murrell as well joining us. Scott, starting with you, can you believe we're nearly at the end of the season?
No, I can't. It's gone in a flash, really. I think we started early March of the season and to playing right up till now, till it's the finals football this week, it's going well.
After last season and everything that's happened in the world and in rugby league as well, it's nice that we've got to this point. And also, Rob, there's been some exciting moments this season.
Yeah, it's been a great year. It's been unfortunate the previous year and having all the sort of breaks and stops and fixtures, but it's been good to get some normality back and get crowds back in games and, as you say, get some excitement into the game of rugby league again.
Now, we've got plenty of awards to get through today, but before we do that, of course, it's only right we start with hearing the thoughts of the RFL CEO, Ralph Rimmer, as he was talking to Mark Pearson, the head of media from Betfred.
Ralph, on behalf of Betfred and Fred, I would just like to thank everyone at the RFL for the remarkable effort you have done, not just this season, but the last 18 months. Look, I've been in meetings with you. I know what you've been up against. So to get to the playoffs and have some outstanding rugby, I mean, a highlight for me is that wheelchair grand final live on Sky. That was just enthralling, and that was brutal rugby league at times as well, wasn't it? So we'd just like to thank the RFL, all the clubs, all the players, the coaches, and obviously it's great to have fans back as well. So we are a very, very proud and happy sponsor, and we know what real hard work you've done this year.
Well, really grateful for that, but clearly, as you expect me to say, it has been a collective effort. You know, Betfred have absolutely played the part. Fantastic sponsor, not just, forget about any kind of financial transaction. You're a great sponsor to work with, and I would include you, I would include all the content you helped us deliver. I would definitely include all the clubs, because some of the things those clubs have been through to get to this point. And I know at the start of this year we managed to, we got the clubs back to training, then back to playing, and now we've got crowds coming in as well. But some of the hoops they've jumped through have been incredible, and as you say, to produce some of the moments we have done along the way when nobody sees what's gone into to make those moments, certainly been a season we'll all remember.
And I know why Fred was so keen. It's the community aspect that rugby league brings as well, and obviously we want to get involved in the wheelchair rugby and the women's game as well. It's great that the profile of these other parts of rugby league are getting lifted. Yeah,
well, as you say, you've got us as a package now, haven't you? So we have obviously had an outstanding Challenge Cup final in July, and St Helens come out at the front of that, and a fantastic competition. Again, right up until kick-off, actually, there was a lot of work going on behind the scenes to make that happen. Then, of course, actually prior to that, we had the 1895 Cup final, Featherstone versus York, made for a fantastic occasion. I know Featherstone went away victors on that day, but it was a great day for us and a great day for Betfred. I thought it was a really special occasion.
Yeah, we've extended the Challenge Cup and we've got the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium to look forward to.
Yeah, that's pretty special, isn't it? And I know that, right from day one, the interest in buying tickets for that has been what you expect. It's a brand new stadium for most of our rugby league fans, and I know they're excited about going. So big demand for next year, and that's what we want.
But on behalf of Betfred, everyone involved in rugby league, thank you very much.
An absolute pleasure. And just some of the things that have happened along the way, I think have been pretty special. Clearly, Toulouse have made the mark on the competition. They've been, if you watched them play this year, they have been absolutely outstanding. Featherstone, as you expect, has been as tenacious as ever. I think those two are deservedly the top two spots, and congratulations on Toulouse on winning that League Leaders Shield. And then underneath that, you've got BARROW, who have won promotion. I was there a couple of weeks ago. That's a very, very big week for them. And they had actually applied to be one of the promoted teams. If you remember, Newcastle went up, who again have really taken their chances this year. But BARROW didn't get in through the front door, if you like. I've certainly got in this way and really made a fantastic season.
That was RFL CEO Ralph Rimmer talking to Mark Pearson, the head of media from Betfred. As he said, what a season it has been. So let's have a look back at some of the highlights from the Betfred League One.
Shows and goes the ball, trying to create the space on that right-hand side. Now then, Arvan has got some space, and it's a walk-in for Patrick Arvan. to BARROW. Here is Tally, pops it out at the back to Talapapa, and Talapapa for a second. Smeaton tries to get on the outside. Smeaton's got on the outside, gets it away, and it's a second try. Tally's got it out. Here's another one. Is it a hat-trick? It is.
Martwood can do with this one as he brings the ball out to Duran, and Duran a little kick over the top, and he's caught it as well. It's bounced very kindly back into his hand. There's going to be Blaine Marwood, and Blaine Marwood has gone over. Blaine Marwood is over for Workington. It's a quick play the ball. Marwood gets this ball out towards the right hand side then. Workington still sweeping this one along. He's going to put a little kick top over the top. It's going to be chased by T. Ritson, but it's not going to be collected. It's going to be Holroyd for Workington, who brings it level in the Cumbrian derby. What can he do? The fans, the players are doing everything they can to put off the experienced Raiders standoff. He puts this one up towards the sticks, and it's gone through the middle. For the Raiders to get this win, get that Championship Rugby League next year. As Carl Forster's brought the line now then. He's got a little bit of support on his left through Luke Cresswell, and it's going to be the first try of the afternoon.
That's again you need to improve.
Lucky Maludi finds a fantastic offload to T. Ritson down that right hand side, and it's going to be number 3 for T. It's yet another hat-trick. 40 metre mark. BARROW now got a few options here as Jake Carter dumb as he goes on his own. He's found Declan Hume is the try scorer. Walks over to his teammates, lifts the trophy aloft. BARROW Raiders, Betfred League One champions for 2021.
Definitely was some incredible moments throughout the Betfred League One season. Let's get into the awards, and it is the League One that we are going to start with, and it's time to find out the nominees for the Betfred League One Young Player of the Season. Right, looking at these here, 3 standout names that have been nominated for that League One Young Player of the Year. Charlie Graham from Keighley Cougars, Brad Holroyd from Workington Town, and Phoenix Laulu Tongagai from Keighley Cougars. Right, let's get your winner of the Betfred League One Young Player of the Season.
So I was playing for Leicester Tigers Academy in rugby union. So I had a break because of COVID and everything. But because my dad, I think it comes under elite sport, they were able to still train. So my dad asked Reece if I could train, just to get my fitness levels up and just to keep my skill up. And I think Reece just took a liking to me, and yeah, that's basically how it was.
No, it's everything's kind of happened so quick. You know, he started off just training just for his fitness and just to kind of help develop his game, and then from there went on to becoming a squad member. and then finally making his debut, and then he kind of kept his spot, and quite surprising how quick it's all happened.
My expectations were, I didn't really have any because it was so sudden. Everything was so sudden. My main focus was just to make the team, and then once I made the team, I think I played quite well, and everything just went from there, really. I think quite surreal. I'm still not. I don't think I appreciate it as much as I should, and I take it for granted a little bit. But I try and put it into perspective, but still quite surreal.
Oh, I've loved it. It's kind of like you kind of dream of stuff like this. Not many people can kind of look back on their career and say they've played professional rugby with their son, and I've been quite fortunate to have more than just one game, and I've loved every moment of it.
Yeah, it's been really physical since I went from playing against people my age and younger to playing against fully grown men, and it's been hard on my body, but I've started getting used to it by now. Oh yeah, definitely. I think it's made me a lot tougher, and it's made me realise that playing against men is a big step against playing against younger people, and you have to be a lot better skill and physically wise. I think it'd have to be my debut with my dad. It was really special. We set up a few tries together, and I think we both played quite well.
Oh, I'm really proud. It's an awesome achievement. Phoenix wants to play rugby as a professional, and to kind of get the accolades at such a young age is really touching. Both myself and my wife are quite proud, and it doesn't stop now. If he wants to keep progressing in his career, he's got to keep up the hard work, and I'm sure that's what he'll do.
Really proud. I wasn't expecting it at all since I've not really played this year, but yeah, I was really happy when you guys called me about it. So yeah.
Congratulations to Phoenix on League One Betfred, League One Young Player of the Year. I mean, Scott, I have to come to you on this one. Father and son playing alongside each other, obviously, as you said before, playing with them as well. You can see the pride in his dad's eyes right there.
Yeah, he just like Phoenix said, he come to turn to keep a little bit, to get fit, and he wasn't training at Leicester Tigers, and he come and just ripped us apart, really. And all the senior boys said to Reece, get him signed up, and he did do, and he's gone strength to strength. The best thing about him is that he wants to learn. He's always asking questions. He's not just coming just to make numbers up. He's wanting to learn, make his game better, and I think he's repped the awards with getting a full-time contract with Hull Kingston Rovers. So it's a credit to him, and it's credit to his family as well. That he's so grounded as a kid, and what a nice, genuine young kid he is as well. Not like his dad, but he's but yeah, he's a nice kid, and I hope he goes a long way in the game.
He's got a very bright future ahead of him, as Scott was just saying there, Rob. Signed next year for Hull KR. Great future.
Oh yeah, fantastic future. And I met him early on in his career before he'd even sort of started pulling on a jersey for any sort of professional clubs. I played with Sheffield with Q, and he was a real young lad at that time, and you could see he was always paying attention to what was going on in the training field, and he'd come to training sessions and sort of be around the club, and he's got the attitude to go leaps and bounds in this game, and I'm really pleased that he's won this award.
Definitely a very exciting future ahead for him. Let's move on then. Let's get on to our Betfred League One Coach of the Year, and here are the nominees. As you can see just there, Anthony Murray from North Wales Crusaders, Richard Squires for Coventry Bears, and Chris Thorman from Workington Town. There we go, let's get into it then. Let's find out who our Betfred League One Coach of the Year winner is.
Let's go! Let's go! Come on, let's go!
I can't really describe it really, especially with the coaches that are in League One. There's some real, experienced coaches who have been at the top of the game playing, and then obviously they're now sort of coaching. I'm just quite humbled really, and just really appreciate it. And I appreciate that, they've had a look at what we do here as a club, on and off the field, and what our players have bought into. And yeah, nothing but thanks really. Just really pleased that that's been recognised, that we do work hard.
Gibson shows and goes with a little kick, and Earlhurst will score. Well, that was a move from the training ground, and North Wales Crusaders will be happy with that.
I just think it's been a real good season. We've just worked hard, and it's been really rewarding to see all the hard work we've put in during the off season. And I think through the COVID pandemic as well, I think that really brought us all closer together. We did a lot of challenges, which we all did over teams, and lads were posting stuff in through on the group, and for the players to show that much commitment through the COVID pandemic, and then that's carried us through into when we started pre-season. I think reflecting back, I think that's been a real good point really, what came through that pandemic, where it all sort of brought us closer together, and the lads really bought into doing things that they needed to do really. I just think it's the Crusader way that we I think it's no secret that we're always batting against the odds, and I think that brings a real closeness and a real togetherness. And in my time at Crusaders, I've been really fortunate to work with some really experienced players who have been at the top of the game, and I've had nothing but support from them. And also, I've had support from the people that I work with, behind my backroom staff, like Alan Adcroft, who's my assistant coach. We've got a friendship that goes back over 35 years, friends like since we were kids. And I just think when you've got that support behind you, and other people that we've brought in to the backroom, I think that just creates a coaching group of togetherness, and that reflects then towards the team, that we want them to be really close together and buy into what we want to do, and sort of encourage and help each other. And that's what we've always done, and we call that the Crusader way, and I think that's why people really enjoy being here when they come and play. I think we get a real good balance of what it means to play rugby at this level. It's not the be all and end all. There's work commitments, family commitments, and I think if you can tie everything in and the players are happy, a happy player, you get something better out of him really. So that's always been our focus really.
Congratulations there to Anthony Murray, the Betfred League One Coach of the Year. He talked about some of the amazing coaches that are in League One. Scott, what do you think made Anthony stand out though?
I think he had a good group of senior players and young players. If you're looking at that North Wales squad, they've got a young team, and he had them all knitted well together and playing well, and all playing off the same in sheet. Looking back in the season, they got beat by Doncaster by 80-0. I think it was one of the third rounds of the season. Then they went on to a nine-game winning streak. And I think when you're winning and getting that togetherness together, it's really brought the best out in his players.
Now, he also mentioned some of the other staff that he works with and how they have a coaching group of togetherness. Rob, how important is it, not just the coach, but also all the backroom staff coming together for a successful team?
It's vitally important. The coach can only do so much on his own, and it's important that the backroom staff are there to support the coach and offer sort of a different view sometimes to what the coach might see. And I think it's vitally important that once you've got that togetherness as a group and the coaching staff, that then sort of flows down into the players, and the players can go and speak to different members of the coaching staff depending on what sort of problems or issues they might have. And it just allows, great minds, more than one great mind, to sort of influence the game.
Definitely. Congratulations there to our Betfred League One Coach of the Year, Anthony Murray. Right, let's move on then to our Player of the Year, and here are your nominees. Nominees include Jamie Dallimore from Barrow Raiders, Jamie Doran from Workington Town, Rob Massam from North Wales Crusaders, and T. Ritson from Barrow Raiders. Let's get straight into it. Let's find out your winner for the Betfred League One Player of the Season.
It sounds a bit cliche, but like all I do is put the ball down. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just off the back of the work that the guys do. So. Yeah, it feels great, but I think if you just look at the team as a whole, I only got it because we are where we are. I think from where we've come over when we started, a few losses, I think we could just be proud of it. We had some goals at the start of the year just to meet the playoffs. So I think anything above where we are now is just a massive bonus for us, especially after we lost 70 points to Doncaster. I think we were just happy to reach the playoffs, and then I think 7 or 8 wins on the bounce. Yeah, we're just happy with where we are right now. the BARROW one, I think. I think that was just at a point where like it came at the right time and everyone was buzzing, and then we won. So I'm just different, I think, a bit more mature, using my head a little bit more. I don't know. Yeah, I guess so. As from a team perspective, definitely it's one of the most exciting seasons to be involved in.
Rob's just been brilliant for us from day one since I came into this, not just this season. You know, since I've always coached at North Wales, you know, Rob is, you know, everything that says about what North Wales is. You know, he's a real hard-working individual. He's a real good team player, and you know, as Rob said in many of his interviews, he just puts the ball down over the line. It's, you know, the hard work that goes on before that to people to create space for him. But not only does Rob score tries, he also gives us that hard work out of yardage. And you know, when it's, you know, A lads A, Rob's the first person to take the ball in and try and get the team on the front foot. So yeah, he's a great character, Rob, and he's a real good person. And you know, I'm really fortunate that he's been in our team, and I hope he stays in our team.
Congratulations to our Betfred League One Player of the Year, Rob Massam. Scott, let's talk about him there. What a season it's been for him. You can see by how the head coach, Anthony Murray, talks about him just there. He's an important part of that team. Yeah, he's a quality player. He's Rob. He's an international winger for Wales, and he really gets their set started like Murray just said then. That, and he's also a quality finisher. When we played him a couple of weeks ago, we tried to target him and try and get his carries out of the game, and we couldn't do that. He just still kept getting out, scooting out and making some good yards, and then he's shown on the highlights there what a quality finisher he is too, so congratulations. Now, one thing that's important to highlight, Rob, about all of our nominees from each award throughout the Betfred League One and the Betfred Championship Awards today is that all these nominees have been nominated by the head coaches in each of those leagues, so they're all standout. And for Rob, he's obviously impressed everyone in the league. Yeah, he's worked really hard all year, and he's been probably one of the better wingers in that league. But it's refreshing to see that all of the nominees in the category have come from clubs that are sort of outside of the heartlands. So you've got like T. Ritson from Barrow, and you've got Rob Massam from North Wales as well. So it's really refreshing to see that we've got quality players who are playing all over all over the UK really, and we've got people moan about the expansion of the game, and we're showing there that we've got players down in North Wales who are leading the competition, and we've got players up in Barrow, Cumbria, who are also sort of top of the competition. So it's really, really refreshing to see that. One thing I love about all of our winners is, yes, they are accepting an individual award, but actually they talk so much about how important it is as a team and how they wouldn't be in this position if it wasn't for the team. And you can see that again with Rob. Yeah, it's a team game, innit? We speak about as players, if you don't do your own role for your team, you won't come out with the results. So Rob and Phoenix so far speaking about the teammates, and well, it's very nice. It definitely is. Congratulations there to Rob. Right, let's move on to our next award. It is time for the Our League Entertainer of the Year. Here's the winner.
Well, Lachlan, a big thank you for joining us. Big congratulations on this brilliant award. I mean, what's your thoughts?
Thanks, mate. A little bit surprised, to be honest. I didn't think I'd win it, but I guess getting my mum and dad and all my mates back home to vote for me certainly helped then. So it's unreal, mate.
And when we look back at the season you've just had, it's been a particularly good season for yourself and your teammates at Whitehaven. I mean, what's your thoughts on what you and your teammates have achieved this year?
Yeah, mate, it's been an incredible year. We'll definitely pick to come last and get relegated, mate, at the start of the year. And when we had those first 5 losses, things weren't going so well. But to have lads come back like Kingy and Louis Jaffray come across and help change our season around, it certainly helps. But to finish 6th and then make the playoffs, mate, was a great achievement for our team, and we definitely spoke about it, but unlucky to have the loss, but that's how rugby goes.
I mean, when we think about that momentum and that run that you went on under Gary Charlton, and like you say, when you signed for the club, Whitehaven were considered to be, at risk, but it just didn't happen, did it? It was the complete opposite. I mean, what was being in that dressing room like this season?
Yeah, it's been great, mate. just a great bunch of lads that everyone has each other's back. So yeah, it's just a good bunch of lads that you can have a laugh and have a beer with after a game, and don't take things too serious. But when you come to play rugby with them, they're always going to do their best and try their best for the team.
And just a thought as well, I mean, this season for Whitehaven has unfortunately ended now, but the season for you might not necessarily have ended because Scotland's come a-knocking. How excited are you about that and Jamaica next month?
Yeah, mate, it's unreal. I certainly wasn't expecting it at the start, but to have that heritage with me through my grandfather, it's something I've always wanted to do, and hopefully I can make that final side and play with Scotland.
And chance of playing in the World Cup as well next year, perhaps? Yeah,
I would love to, mate, hopefully.
And final question, Lachlan, just to go back, I mean, I think 15 tries scored this year. What does it mean to win this Entertainer of the Year? I personally as well, I have to say, watching the highlights as I do every week, you've scored some amazing tries. Have you got a personal favourite from the season?
Probably the one at York, because it started from our own in goal and ended up at the other end under the post. But mate, I'm pretty much speechless, mate. It's I didn't expect to win it, but to everyone that voted and everyone that played their part this year, I appreciate it so much, and I'm very thankful, and thanks for the award.
Congratulations there to Lachlan Worrincy, the winner of our League Entertainer of the Year. But it was a very strong pool of nominees right there. I'll go through some of the names just now. Gareth Gale, Rob Masson, T. Ritson, Tony Gigo as well. I mean, Rob, some of those names just there. Yeah. For Lachlan to come out and to win it, it's tough competition.
Yeah, there's some quality players on that list there. All quality finishers and quality entertainers in the game. But feel that Lachlan's probably deserved it with the finishing he's done, and of the club's name there, I think Whitehaven wouldn't have been one of the fancied clubs in sort of championship this year, but they've done really well on the back of some excellent team performances, and he's been sort of the catalyst of some of the performances with some of the finishes he's done this year.
And they were talking there about the future, him possibly next year being involved in the Rugby League World Cup, maybe representing Scotland as well at some point. That'd be great to see, wouldn't it, as well, Scott?
Yeah, it'd be great to see. I'm involved in the Scotland setup for the World Cup next year, so he is in the initial 40-man squad, I think it is, and yeah, he's had some quality finishes this year, and as have they all. And one name there with T. Ritson, he was in there. I think he got 7 tries. He broke the record for the tries scored in the professional game. So yeah, there's been some quality playing this year.
Another name that we missed off just there, but Abbas Miski. He would have been absolutely gutted to have not been involved or to not have won this award. It could have been a worthy winner, definitely, from the season.
He's been real standout for London this year and had some real strong performances. And on the back of that, he's earned himself a contract in Super League next year. He's not built as a rugby league winger is these days, but he takes some stopping, and he can finish a try as well.
That's what people say about me, built like a rugby league winger. Right
all wingers, counting tackles.
Right, let's move on then. We are going to go on to our next award just here, and it is starting off with our Betfred League One Club of the Year.
Well, Steve, congratulations. Barrow Raiders are the Betfred League One Club of the Year. A fantastic honour after a fantastic 12 months or so for your club.
Yeah, absolutely delighted. Been lots of hard work on and off the field, and it's due reward really for all the efforts that everyone around the club's put in. So absolutely delighted with the award.
The headline, obviously, promotion back to the Betfred Championship after a couple of years away, and one of those years, of course, was 2020, where there was no rugby league at that level. You must be pleased that essentially you come back at the first opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. It was obviously the main goal of the club to achieve promotion first time. When we were relegated, we were a little bit unlucky with injuries that season, and we made a vow not to rip apart the team and the coaching staff, and we stayed loyal to everybody really, and because we knew that we had a championship standard squad, and we added 1 or 2 quality players to that, and we managed to get over the line. But it's still a tough season in a really competitive league, which has surprised me in some respects. But there's lots of good teams out there in the League One, and it's been a great year for a lot of clubs.
And the Club of the Year award focuses on the off-field stuff as much as it does on the field and off the field. You've gone from strength to strength, it seems. Some of the crowds have been fantastic, as good as, levels much higher up the game.
Yeah, I mean, we put a lot of focus into growing the crowds. We see that as our number one objective, but a lot of things feed into that. All the great community work that we've been doing, the commercial side of our organisation is attracting lots and lots of sponsors, but we're also making the game day a bit more of a day out. It's not just an hour and a half watching rugby league. We've got our ladies teams that's joined us now, and more often than not, we're doing double headers. We've got community rugby teams, youngsters on the field, and we've got a few community groups. So we're starting as early as 9 a.m. and it's struggled to get people out at 11 p.m. It's been that good on game day.
So what next, Steve? What's the next step for the Barrow Raiders looking into the future?
Yeah, well, obviously we've got into the championship, and with the work we've done off the field has enabled us to think a little bit bigger. Really, we're thinking of improving the facilities. We're thinking of improving the team. We think we've got a pretty strong squad anyway, but lots and lots of talks, as you would imagine, at this stage of the year, and we're in some deep discussions with some real quality players, and we'll be making a real fist of getting in the top 8. We also appreciate that the facilities have got to keep pace with that, so we're looking at the Super League facility standards, and we're making the improvements to the ground at the same time. We'll continue with all the great community work that we're doing and the event program that we'll be doing, so that we're generating money from lots of different income streams. And I think that's the way to go. We just can't rely on 14, 15 games a year. We've got to bring money in every week. And we're aiming to be an established top-end championship team in the short term, and then in the long term, why not Super League?
Well, Steve, congratulations. The Barrow Raiders are the Betfred League One Club of the Year.
Thanks very much.
Lewis Smith there talking to the CEO of our Betfred League One Club of the Year, Steve Neal. Of course, that club is Barrow Raiders, and you've just got to look at the league table, Scott, to see why they're worthy winners.
Yeah, they're the best. They've been the best team all year. We played them early on in the season when the COVID restrictions were in, and it still had like a little party atmosphere going on up there with all the fans, and it was quality to see, really. Like I just spoke about then, it's not just about the months when they're playing the game, it's about the 12 months of the year bringing money in so it can bring better players in to make Barrow a force. And I think he's got the right mindset and where he wants to be and where he wants the club to be with his goals and stuff like that. So good luck to them and wish them all the best for the future.
Rob, it's great to see a CEO talking not just about what happens on the pitch, but how important everything off the pitch is as well. Like we've just said, building a community and a force in Barrow for them to move forward and be more successful and continue that success.
Yeah, the success on the pitch can only be matched by success off the pitch, and it's really important that you don't just focus on the product on the pitch. Building into community and getting people to link in with the club and feel ownership of the club is really important in trying to drive the club forward. And the stuff he's saying there is absolutely spot on and key for me in terms of if they want to be a strong championship club and eventually get into Super League and hold those aspirations.
Definitely they will. Right, let's move on then to the Championship, and it's time to have a look at our Betfred Championship Club of the Year.
Well, John, firstly, congratulations. York City Knights, Betfred Championship Club of the Year. A fantastic honour for yourself, but also everyone involved down at the Knights as well.
Yeah, it's one for everybody, isn't it? What a very difficult year it's been for a lot of people, and I just want to pay thanks to all the other clubs out there that have done such fantastic hard work during the year, and obviously very proud of our accolade. But we're a competition that survives while everyone is strong together, and congratulations to everyone for getting through what's been a very difficult year.
And perhaps the highlight on the field, walking out at Wembley, of course, in the 1895 trophy earlier this year, an incredible thing for York fans to experience.
Yeah, first time back at Wembley for 90 years, so giving the York public things to celebrate, and it's a thank you really to all the supporters, all the sponsors, partners, players, families involved, and Wembley was a fantastic experience and something we look to repeat, and we hope others get that opportunity also.
And not the only cup final for the Knights this season, of course. Your women's team have made fantastic progress. made it through to the Betfred Women's Challenge Cup final and the semi-finals of the Women's Super League. The progression in the women's game at the Knights must be a real kind of source of pleasure and encouragement for you.
Yeah, it was a definite decision to invest in the women's game. It's shown a great return, both on the field and off the field. We've got more girls playing the game. We've got obviously a fantastic team that's been put together under Lindsay Anfield, who's doing a fantastic job. So the girls' game continues to go from strength to strength, and we're really proud of what we've achieved at York.
And looking forward, some fantastic signs for the club, some great partnership with York St John's University. There's some funding that's come in from the Created By campaign, PDRL, LDRL, plenty going on in the community, to prove that York are doing more than just putting a men's team on the field.
Yeah, that foundation's an absolute linchpin of success for years to come. And ultimately, as a chairman of the club, it's about leaving a legacy. And that legacy will, be there with more people playing the game, more people watching the game, and more people enjoying the game. And the facilities forms a big part of that legacy. And York St John, matched by the World Cup, have done a fantastic job in installing that facility so people can play all year round on what was a fantastic floodlit surface as well. So the PDRL and the LDRL festivals that happened over the last weekends were testament to why that build was made. And they were brilliant events, and long may those continue also.
Well, just lastly, John, what's the immediate ambition and plan for the Knights over the next couple of years?
I think we need to consolidate our success, and we need to continue to grow on and off the field. We want the men's team to progress up that table, and ultimately, clearly, the aim is Super League, and we want the Women's Super League team to grow. But ultimately, we also need more players playing the game. We need more kids in the community engaging with our community clubs, engaging with the club, filling out that stadium, and we'll go from strength to strength. I think one thing COVID's taught us is that we need to be agile, and we need to respond, and we need to be able to move with the times, and hopefully we're at the forefront of that with a very progressive brand.
Well, John, congratulations to yourself and everybody at the Knights. You are the Betfred Championship Club of the Year.
Thank you.
Congratulations to York City Knights, our Betfred Championship Club of the Year. Let's talk about them. Again, it's another case of a club that's doing a lot on the pitch, but also, Rob, off the pitch, it's equally as important to them, not just in the men's game, but in the women's game and with their women's team as well. Yeah, he's working really hard, is John, to try and bring York to the forefront of sporting side in the city. We've been to the York Stadium and played there this year, and it's a fantastic facility, absolutely fantastic. But he's, as you said, he's focusing not just on the men's game but the women's game, and trying to build the community aspect that we spoke about with the other teams as well. So it's really good to see. York is not your natural rugby league city, but it's fantastic to see the work he's putting into making them sort of a driving force within that area of Yorkshire. And Scott, when you're looking at both the men's and women's teams, they both got to finals at Wembley this year. Those magical moments, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, it's what you play for, and it's playing them big games. I think York get beat by St Helens in the final, the women's one, and the men's team got beat as well by Featherstone. But it's absolutely quality. I think that one of the best things that John's gone is he's not gone all out to go for Super League straight away. He's building the foundations slowly, and then obviously he'll have his 5-year plan, 10-year plan of where he wants to be, and so when he does get up to the top, it's not just up and down, it's up to stay. So they've got a good product there at York, they've got a beautiful city, haven't they, and it's hopefully it can thrive.
Definitely. Right, well that brings us nicely on to our championship awards, but before we dive into those, let's have a look back at some of the highlights of the season.
So Martin Ridyard will get us underway for Swinton, and he kicks us off. Your Betfred Championship season is underway here at Beaufold.
1, 2, 3, 4! Oh, they're into the corner with Jack Johnson!
Oh. Out to Langtree, short ball for Heaton. Heaton split the defence.
Is it the moment for Danny Brough? It goes to Jordan Lilly. Jordan Lilly in front of the post.
Yeah. I hate to be one of few, rather than one of many. The desire to be legendary.
The Cooper tie goes in.
Corner going right, he's flung the ball out, he's bounced off the toe end. It could be a sensational score.
Jump goes back to Dean. Dean right-footed, charge down, and the break comes in for Featherstone, and they're racing away here.
Dixon's going to catch it.
Featherstone are going to win it.
He's in front of the post. Jordan Lilly puts the drop goal between the posts.
Nearly
might be a score for the wingman Moafo. He is in.
From nothing to something so high, I don't wanna come down. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Dixon for the hat-trick.
Jump from dummy half, steals one.
Dane Manning! Oh, he couldn't finish it, but Walshaw can! Ballier level! Has he got the pace? He's going for the line, turns it back to Quasi, who bounces over the line! 14 tries, fantastic play.
Feeling ever so victorious. I feel the confidence from these accomplishments. Overwhelmed by support and the compliments. And all the blood and the sweat and the tears and the fears from the hustle makes it all feel glorious. Can't keep a turn my life around as I roll with the punches from nothing to something so high I don't wanna come down.
Bradford, the stretch, Ali Batson in the corner! It's a try! It's a try! Far too quick, far too good. Off he goes. He's got loads of options inside. He hacks forward. Marion and Carell were there. Marion wins the chase. Marion scores. And brings to an end a season of utter dominance from Toulouse Olympique in this breakthrough year for French Rugby League. Toulouse Olympique are the league Leaders' Shield winners.
Another great season in the Betfred Championship. Rob, I'll start with you. What have you made of it this year?
It's gone too quickly for me, but it's been fantastic. I mean, Toulouse have done really well to top the table and be one of the better teams in the competition. Feather have been really strong this year, but we've seen teams like Whitehaven, we've seen teams like Halifax, we've seen teams like Batley upset the apple cart and get in amongst those top six, and it's been a really good year with some quality rugby league being played all through the year.
I think a great phrase that we just heard there, Scott, was that from Toulouse it was a breakthrough season for French Rugby League once again. They were dominant, they were great going through. Even if they would have seen them play the full season, we were speaking off air before, you said they would have beat everyone, you believe?
Yeah, they've got quality players. They've been up there for the last 4 or 5 years when they've been there, people like Carella and Jonathan Ford, but they've added quality from Super League, who are Super League players like Tony Gigo, and Peru, Don Peru from St Helens last year. So there's people like that playing against part-time players, and it's really shown this year that they've run out at top. But don't get me wrong, Featherstone have been quality as well, and they've been a real good team this year.
It does feel, Rob, that amongst all of the teams in the Championship, the standard is getting better and better year after year. And having that competition between those two teams who are great, Featherstone and Toulouse as well, it just enhances the Championship.
Yeah, I think we've got two teams there who could arguably push a few of the Super League teams and give them a run for the money. Featherstone have got players like Craig Hall, they've got Gareth Gale, who've been playing outstanding on the flanks, and then they've got the forwards have been gone really well this year. They've recruited quite well and got players like Gadwin Springer and Ferguson as well, who's been really strong there. And Toulouse, as Scott said, have got quality all over the park and have been one of the better teams for a number of years in the Championship. So it's fantastic to see those two teams really going for it this year, and it's going to be a really interesting end to the season to see who picks the #1 spot.
It definitely is. I'm looking forward to those games right there. Right though, let's get straight into the awards for the Betfred Championship, and we're starting with the nominees for the Betfred Championship Young Player of the Year. Now here you can see the nominees: Tyler Dupree from Oldham, Louis Roberts from Swinton Lions, and Ebon Skur from Bradford Bulls. And let's get into it. Let's see our winner for the Betfred Championship Young Player of the Year.
Well, Tyler, firstly, congratulations on winning the award, Young Player of the Season. It must have been a proud moment for you when you found out.
Yeah, I was buzzing. Obviously, it's something completely to get the award like that, it's really proud for me and my family.
And a tough year for the team, as you said, but for you, you know, your first season playing regular first team rugby league at that level, how have you found it?
There's been games when it's been really tough, and you sort of think I'm not cut out for it, but you just got to dig deep, and I'm ready to like prove that I'm ready to cement a spot in the championship, playing first grade, and trying to build to go up to the next level. So
obviously you were given some responsibility at Oldham, and they put some faith in you, some trust in you to go out and perform that role week in, week out. How did you feel coming into the season that you were ready to make that step up?
Yeah, I definitely felt ready, but I didn't know if other people thought I was ready, if that makes sense. I didn't expect to get as low a shirt number in the 17, which isn't a big thing for many people, but it shows that the coaches was willing to start me and play me, so they put faith in me, and hopefully I repaid it and played well for them.
And on a personal level, what's your ambition now to kick on in terms of your career?
I just think it goes down to trying to be the best for myself. Obviously I want to keep progressing and getting better and a bit more recognition and proving that it don't have to be until I'm 25, 26 before I'm mature, and that I can hold my own at my age now. So,
have you found that, I suppose, this season, obviously playing in the position that you do, your size-wise, you're playing against some people who have been around the block and have been doing it for years, but as you mentioned, you've held your own. That must have given you a lot of confidence.
Yeah, definitely. I've always been like one of the biggest sort of players in teams that I've been in anyway, so coming up against people who are even bigger than me, it just gives you that sort of motivation to roll your sleeves up and prove your worth, if that makes sense. So it's been a good experience, and I've really enjoyed being able to play against the more experienced players, especially more experienced prop forwards as well, to see that they've done it all, they've come down to this level, which is still a good level, and they're still good competing. So.
Congratulations there to Tyler Dupree, our Betfred Championship Young Player of the Year. Scott, I want to get into this and talk about, as a youngster coming through, how difficult it actually is for him to come in. His first season playing full season of rugby, men's rugby as well. For him to win this award, great achievement.
Yeah, it's a massive achievement. The position he's playing is obviously he's in the middle as a forward, and coming up against seasoned professionals what have dropped down from Super League and still playing the game. For a young kid to come in there and compete with them week in, week out, it's a testament to him. And obviously, like he alluded to, Oldham had the best year and they've been relegated, but for him to stand out and come out with this accolade, it's a good big achievement for him.
It definitely is, and he's got a bright future. Witness have confirmed that they have signed him for next year, so even though it's only his first full year last year, he looks like he's going on to big and great things, Rob.
Yeah, he had a really good year last year. As Scott said, Oldham may have been relegated, but all the games that I've seen him played in, and certainly the 2 games we played against Oldham, it was a handful and caused a lot of problems. And yeah, he's got a great future ahead of him. He's got size, he's got strength, he's got ability, and hopefully at Widnes he's able to develop a little bit more and sort of kick his game on, and hopefully play in the Super League and maybe get international honours.
Now, I did speak to Scott before just about the youngsters coming through. You've recently retired, Rob, so what was it like for you in that final season, coming up against youngsters like Tyler, when you're playing against them? They've got the whole careers ahead of them, and you were thinking about coming towards the end of yours.
Yeah, it's difficult. It's really hard, and it's a sort of decision that's really been weighed heavy on my heart. But you know when it's time to go, and youngsters like Tyler, you see the enthusiasm for the game and see the ability to bounce back from a game quite quickly, and it makes you realise that probably need to put the cue on the rack and leave it to the youngsters to carry it on.
Don't know, maybe at some point you might think, I'm going to come back, surely. You're going to be in love with the game still. Never coming back.
That's all what his wife says. Depends what his wife says.
I just wanted to see it. Let us move on then to our next award, and let's see our nominees for the Betfred Championship Coach of the Year. Right, as you can see just here, the 3 coaches that have been nominated: Gary Charlton from Whitehaven, Simon Grix from Halifax Panthers, and Craig Lingard from Batley Bulldogs. And let's hear from your winner of the Betfred Championship Coach of the Year.
Craig, a proud moment for you, I'm sure. The Betfred Championship Coach of the Year for 2021. Just How does it feel after this season to be holding that?
Yeah, massively proud, not only for me but for the coaching group as a whole down there. It's been a difficult season for everybody concerned coming off the back of COVID, and I think as a coaching group and as a staff, including as medical staff as well, we've worked really hard together today this season. And it's this award isn't just for me; it's for everybody involved in the club.
Frustrating time, as you mentioned, in 2020 for the whole sport. How pleased were you with the way that Batley as a club and your players were able to pick back up and go again in 2021 after that break?
Yeah, really pleased. It's a difficult situation, something that nobody's dealt with before, so we're a little bit of a suck it and see at times, and find out what works for us as a group and find out what works for the individuals as well. And as I said, the group of staff that we've got here this season have worked hard behind the scenes, and the players have bought into everything that we've tried to do this year as well. So it's a credit to them. So really pleased with the fourth place finish that we've got this year, and working hard going into the playoffs now.
After the COVID escapade of 2020, this is a massive boost to our club. Craig, we knew at the beginning of 2020, even though we hadn't won games, we knew we were looking good really, and then it didn't happen. So luckily, 2021 we started off well and we've gone from strength to strength, so we're absolutely delighted with everything that's gone on this year.
What do you think the potential of this group is? How far can it go?
I think the sky's the limit. Everybody knows that that next season is going to be really important, because we don't know what the league structure is going to be after that. Are they going to go to 2 divisions of 10? And if they are, then we need to make sure that we're in them top 20 teams. And it was really important that we got his retention right this year after a good successful season. And normally after Batley have had a successful season, all the better players that have got him in that position get cherry picked, and he's starting again, and he's on a bit of a 3-year rotation with the teams trying to get the club back up there, trying to perform to win. So we're really pleased that we've retained the majority of our squad this year, and we're looking to improve and recruit players that are going to make us hopefully better than they've been this year.
Congratulations to our Championship Coach of the Year, Craig Lingard. What a season it's been. But one thing that they highlighted there, Rob, was the importance after bouncing back from COVID. Everyone was affected by it. But how important do you think Craig's role would have been for Batley Bulldogs for them to come back how they did?
It would have been really important. Batley, I think, had a really good year a few years ago under John Keir, and he sort of left, and the year after they struggled a little bit, and I think he's been key in sort of getting them back to the performances that they had under John, and building that. The team spirit and ethos that Batley have come to have over the years. They're not the biggest spenders in the competition, and they don't usually attract the biggest names in the competition, but this year they've gone toe-to-toe with the big boys, and they've done really well in sort of making that top 6.
And it's really easy to think the role of a coach is just on the pitch or maybe training, but Scott, there's so much more to it.
It is, especially for teams like Batley, Whitehaven and Halifax, the 3 coaches what have been mentioned there. They've got lads what are working, they're not full-time clubs. The lads have got jobs away from rugby as well, so it's managing the lads, the lifestyles and their life away from rugby as well. It's not their life isn't rugby league, it's not day to day, it's every other day, and lads have got jobs and stuff like that, so it's just managing all that really, and Craig seems to have done a good job. Like Rob said, he's got that team spirit back, and they've kicked on this year.
They definitely have. Right, let's move on then to our final award. It's time to find out the nominees for the Betfred Championship Player of the Season. Right, let's have a look then at these nominees. Jonathan Ford from Toulouse Olympique, Tom Gilmore from Batley Bulldogs, Craig Hall from Featherstone Rovers, and James Harrison from Featherstone Rovers as well. 4 players are nominated, but there can only be one winner, and let's hear from that winner now.
Yeah, loved it. Obviously, I only played 4 or 5 games last year before we stopped, so having this first full season's been really good. Obviously being in a winning team each week, apart from obviously that one game that we lost, has helped. The morale and everything's been great. It's been awesome to get the fans back in. They're great, passionate set of fans which get right behind you. Probably just obviously the Wembley week. It was outstanding. First we didn't know it was going to get on, and then just managing to get the game on and being there, being being part of it and luckily getting man of the match on the day was was fantastic. No, not too many. I think it's just on the back of other people doing good work. I think I got moment of the year, the presentation of the year for the one away at York in the last few minutes when Chizzy charged it down and managed to go full length. So I might have to say that one. Yeah, definitely. There's great work done behind the scenes as well as on the pitch. So I think the recruiting for next year with Super League in mind. Obviously we've got a semi-final to get through before we even talk about going to £1 million game. So like I said, the club as a whole really good. Been doing some work myself with the community around here. The fans are really buzzing, and they're hoping to be in Super League for next year. Yeah, fantastic. There's been some really good players this year. I saw who was up for nomination. I think if James Harrison didn't get injured like he has this year, he'd have won it hands down. He's been brilliant, and no wonder that Warrington have come in to sign him. So it's privilege and an honour to get something like that.
Congratulations to Craig Hall, the Betfred Championship Player of the Year. For Featherstone this year, 21 games, 20 wins, only 1 loss. How important, though, was Craig throughout that season, Rob?
Oh, he scored so many points from this year, and his versatility is under it. He can play 6, he can play 1, he can play 2, he can play wherever you want him to play, really, and he plays all those positions really, really well. No doubt he deserved that award for me.
How important are players like Craig for Featherstone to hopefully, he talked about it there, play not just in that £1 million game, but to make it into the Betfred Super League at some point, Scott?
Yeah, he's been massive for Featherstone this year. He's, wherever Ollie's played, he can score points. A big thing for Ollie is he can play in a position like Rob just said, so if the coach needs him to play full back, he'll play that, and he'll be one of the best players on field. If he plays for winger, he'll be one of the best players on field. So having that versatility for him to go play for James Webster as a coach is massive.
It's great to see that a player like Craig Hall is receiving these awards, but once again, talking about the team, talking about everyone coming together. We saw what they've managed to do throughout the season, some of those special moments, going to Wembley as well. This could turn out to be such a successful, such a special season for Featherstone Rovers.
Yeah, they're a big club, and they've always been a big club in the Championship, and they've got aspirations, obviously, to go into Super League. So seasons like they've had with so much success, they're hoping to get an end result, and their end result and the goal is to get into Super League. They've been unlucky in the last few years not to probably get up there, and some people argue that they deserve a shot now. So they've got 2 games possibly to make that dream a reality.
That's going to be a very exciting end to the season. But there we have it. All of our awards have been given out. Congratulations to all of our winners, but also to all of the nominees, to all of the players that have played this season, plus all of the staff, and of course to you, all of the supporters, whether you've been watching online or you've been at the games in the stands. Your support is vital to Rugby League, so thank you so much. It's been great. Thank you to you guys as well, Rob, Scott. It's been very enjoyable to spend the last hour with you going through some of the highlights from the Betfred League One and the Betfred Championship. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. We've got a very exciting end to the season to come though, so we will see you very, very soon. Thanks for watching.